morning, students. Today we'll start our discussion on control chart. Now first let us discuss what is control chart. Control chart is a statistical tool used to distinguish process variation resulting from common cause and variation resulting from the special causes. It also can be called as the graphical representation of collected information, and it pertains to measured of otherwise judged characteristics in the items of samples. Now before going to the control chart, we must tell, because this is a tool of statistical quality control. So what is statistical quality control? So statistical quality control is the collection and analysis of large quantities of information in the form of numerical, in the form of data, different collected data or collected informations, or information about the process and process control. And quality control, it is a system of maintaining standards in manufactured product by testing a sample to see whether it meets the required standard or not. There might be specific standard, maybe IS standard, maybe standard of other countries, or maybe standard as specified by the designer. So these standards needs to be met by a manufacturing process, and the quality control personnel, their responsibility is to check whether the output product meets the required standard. Now statistical quality control monitors the process mean to determine whether measured source of observed variation is due to common cause or called as chance cause, which is inevitable, or it is the inherent characteristics of the process or inherent characteristics of the system, or it is due to special cause, or also called as assignable cause, which can be detected and corrected with appropriate measures. Now what is the use of control chart? There are several uses. The first is to achieve the maintain the process stability. Process stability, in which a process has displayed a certain degree of consistency in past and expected to continue in future. So that is called a process stability, and if it is under the limit, there is a specified limit, there is a upper limit and lower limit. If all the process variables lie between this limit, then the process can be called as the process is stable. Next, monitor the process variation over time. Differentiate between special cause and common causes. Assess the effectiveness of change to improve the process. Communicate how a process performed during a specified period. Predicting the communicate means it is basically a preparation of report, how so that the quality control persons give to the higher authority how the process has been moving on, whether any rectification is required or not, or any improvement of the or modification of the process is required. That is called the process performed during a specified period. Next is, and this is made in a periodic basis, maybe in a daily basis or weekly basis or fortnightly or monthly basis. This report has generated. In predicting the expected range of outcome from a process, determining whether the quality improvement project should aim to prevent specific problems or to make fundamental changes in the process. Consistency is characterized by a stream of data falling within control limit based on ±3 standard deviation or ±3 sigma of the center line. That will come in later slides. Now, history of the control chart. The control chart is also known as Showhart chart or process behavior chart. In statistical process control, they are used to determine whether the manufacturing or business process is under statistical control or not. The control chart was invented by Walter A. Showhart while working in the Bell Labs in the 1920s. The company's engineer was seeking for improving the reliability of the telephony transmission system. Now, before going into the detail of this control chart, we must understand what are the types of data and which type of data are come across during the process operation. So some data you will find that there is occurring continuously, or rather you are getting a will get a continuous value between a number. So it is called as continuous data, which can be assigned an infinite number of values between whole numbers. Example: age, height, weight, temperature, time to go to school, etc. And some data, they are discrete data. So discrete data is measurable, that can be counted. Say example: class size, family size, calorie in chocolate, etc. So understanding these data is very important while using the control chart or process control. Now next also a part called as defect and defectives. So defect, it is a subset or it is a part of the defective. So in a defective product can consist of number of defect. It's not only a single defect, a number of defect can be there in a defective product. So defects are the subset of defectives. There might be a number of n number of defects to have one defective product. Say consider as a cylindrical rod. So this cylindrical rod, the possible defects are say crack, soft, bend, dimensional tolerance, eccentricity, etc. Or you can take an example of a welded product. In a welding there are defects like cracks, blowholes, porosities, undercut, root penetration, and different defects are there. But all these defects, if it is are a within limit, then the product may not be called as defective product. But if this defect, one or more defect, crosses the limits of means crosses their allowable limit, then this one or more defect is sufficient to make a defective welded product. So for getting a defective rod, one or more defect is sufficient to present in the product. So we'll discuss in detail later on also about the defect and defectives. This will be a part of this attribute chart. Now the types of control chart based on the classification of data. Continuous data, the charts are I and MR, so it is individual and moving range chart. X bar and R chart, X bar and S chart. And based on the discrete data, the charts are N chart, NP chart, C chart, U chart. And also you need to know the control limits. What are the control limits and the specification limits? So control limits are known as the natural process limits. Horizontal lines are drawn on statistical process control chart, usually at a distance of plus minus 3 sigma or 3 standard deviation of the plotted statistics from statistical mean or the center line. So you will find that as we have studied in metrology also, in limit fits tolerance, we have studied about the lower limit and upper limit. So here also in a limit chart, in a statistical quality control, there is also a specified limit with respect to the mean line. So this limit is used, whether this if a limit is used to specify whether all the parameters or most of the parameters lying between this zone or not. Next is statistical specification limit. Specification limits or boundaries or parameters that define acceptable performance for a process, expressed as target limit as well as upper or lower limit. The table below contrasts between the control limits and specification limits. How control limit created? Control limit created is based on the voice of the process, calculated from the data, appear on control chart, apply to subgroups, guide for process actions, and what the process is doing can be known by this can be determined with by the control limits. And the specification limits, this is, you can say, it is also an external effects, say the voice of customer, defined by the customer, appear on histograms, which this apply to the items, separate good items from the bad items, and what we want the process to do. So these control limits, basically when we will go, you will see that control limits, these control limits comes as to the common causes, and specification limits which causes to the special causes or assignable causes. Now while we are talking about the process variation, so process variation, it is a very interesting thing, and it is a very interesting concept, very important concept to understand, because all the component or any component, any two similar component must have some variation. Even we can take an example of the cap of a pen. These pens, these are all use and throw pens. If you take the two pen of the same manufacturer, you will see, if you see it minutely, both the caps must have some variation. Even though are manufactured under the same process, maybe under the same working condition, maybe under the same operator, maybe all other parameters same, even though there must be some variation. So that is why it is called that variation is obvious in nature. No two things are alike. There must be variation. Even things are also have a variation if you have a closer look. The variation is causes due to the variation which causes errors. In some cases variation causes errors, defects, rework, rectification and longer process time, while rework and rectification, and all of them are very costly to the business, because if you spend more time, so it is a function of money. So customer experience the variation. Customer experience the variation that comes from this voice of the customer or the customer feedback. So they do not experience the average, they experience the variation from the average. So service process also, in service industry, if you see, service industry experience more variation from the manufacturing industry. Now variation is the enemy. Why it is enemy? Because it is an enemy to the quality, it is an enemy to the improvement, the manufacturing process, or it is also the enemy to the management, because it is a function of the cost or function of money. This concept of variation is probably most confusing and misunderstood area in any process. So the Six Sigma method, one of the main focus in the Six Sigma method is to reduce the process variation, and so that the process performance should be optimum and output as well as should be optimum, and distinguish between the common causes and special causes of variation is very important area to be understood. And also it needs to be learned both the causes very effectively, so that which one is common cause and which one is special cause, that people or the operator must know, so that these causes can be reduced. Eliminated is very difficult to say it is eliminated, but it can be reduced. Now let us discuss the common cause, or sometimes called as chance cause of variation. A common cause of variation, it is the variation from the mean that is caused by the system as a whole. This variation is not due to the assignable cause, or this is not due to any external effort. Rather the variation, it is the inherent characteristic of the system or the inherent characteristics of the process. When the variation is due to the common cause, the system is said to be under the statistical control. The result is stable, consistent and predictable. It might be a good or might be a bad, or mixture of both good and bad, but still we can conclude that this process is under statistical control, that can be reduced by different methods. So some examples of the common cause of variation is poor training, inappropriate production method, incorrect workstation decision, etc. You can see in this image there is a variation. It is shown that there is a upper control limit and there is a lower control limit, and in between that there is a dotted line which called as the system mean or the average line. So based on the average line, you can see the variation, all the data are lying within this limit. So as far as the concern of a statistical quality control, yes, the process is under statistical control, because none of the parameters are outside the range. So this is inherent to the system. If we can improve our system characteristics, or say for example, if we give our operator a better training, if we use a little advanced production method, so this variation can be reduced. Eliminated is not possible, but it can be reduced. Next are the special causes or assignable causes of variation. A special cause of variation present in a process if any point fall above the upper control limit. You can see here this point is lying above the upper control limit and this point lies below the lower control limit. So these points are due to the special cause or assignable causes of variation. The special cause of variation is created by a random event, leads to unexpected or unpredictable change in the process output, and it is intermittent and it is also unpredictable. People cannot predict whether any random error or random cause that occur or that can take place, due to which the process parameter may go out. Say for example, due to the load shedding, what happens in an area when the load is off. So what happens to the, since the load is off, suddenly there is a increase of the RPM, the generator speed. So again this needs to be reduced to a limit. So if it is not reduced to a limit, there is sudden increase of speed in the generator may damage the bearing, may damage the shaft itself, may damage the coupling. So it is very much required that this load of the load of any area should be uniform. If it is suddenly off, then there is might be a increase of the increase of the turbine speed or the generator speed. So this generator speed again needs to be reduced to a certain limit by different methods. So this special cause of variation present in the system will be unstable and unpredictable over time. The process to be brought under statistical control only if all special causes are identified and removed from the system. So based on these common cause and special causes, the types of control charts have been formed. The types of control chart, they are called as variable control chart and attribute control chart. The variable control chart are measured from continuous scale. So you can understand that the variable control chart, it is based on the continuous data. For example, time, weight, distance, temperature can be which can be measured in fractions or decimals or between whole numbers, if you recall in the first previous definitions. And this is applied to the data with continuous distribution. And the attributes control chart, they are counted and can not have fractions. They are countable and do not have any fraction or decimals. Attribute data arise presence or absence or something that is determined, say success or failure, accept or reject, correct or incorrect, like this. Example, a report have a maybe have a 1 or 2 error or 3 error, but the report does not have 1.5 error or 2.5 error, like this. So this attribute control chart applied to the data following the discrete distribution. So the variable chart, they are known as the X bar chart. This chart is the sample mean that are plotted in order to control the mean value of a variable. And R bar chart, this X bar chart it is, then it is R bar chart. It talks about the range. In this chart, the sample ranges are plotted in order to control the variability of the variables. Then S chart, in this chart the sample standard deviations are plotted in order to control the variability of the variables. So but in our discussion in variable chart, we will restrict our discussion in both these two chart, X bar chart and R chart. And there are other chart, the attribute chart. Attribute chart is the C chart. In this chart we plot the number of defectives per day or per batch or per machine, like this. And U chart, in this chart we plot the rate of defectives. NP chart, we plot the number of defectives and the sample size. And P chart, we plot the percent defectives. So these 5-6 chart we will discuss in our discussion about the control chart. That we will discuss in the next classes. Now the control chart, let us come down to the control chart decision tree. So the control chart, first thing, what control chart shall I use? Then the question is followed by what type of data being measured. Now it is measured in units, or it is a continuous data, or it is a discrete data. If it is a continuous data, then we have to go to the variable chart. Then in this variable chart again, next question comes, how many measurements are to be in each subgroup? A subgroup contain all the measurement that make up one plotted point. So if it is 1 and if it is 2 to 10 or if it is more than 10. If it is 1, so you are looking into a individual process, then you have to go for individual and moving range chart. Now if you are going to the next, it is say 2 to 10 subgroups you want to make the measurement, then you have to take average chart and the range chart. So which is X bar chart and R chart. And if it is over 10, average standard deviation, average and standard deviation, so X bar and S chart will be using. And next is, if we are going for a discrete data, then we have to go to the attribute chart. Then next is attribute, what type of data being counted, whether it is defective items which may be contain several defect, or if I am interested in total defects in all items. So then it goes to defective and defects. So I said in the previous discussion, the defect is a subset of defective. So defective means it talks about a whole number of data, and defects, it talks about number of data. It is say it may be any one defect, it may be another 2 defect, like this. So a product can be defective because it may contain one defect or may contain more than one defect. So if it is defective, then again it comes, will there be a constant number of measurements in each subgroup? If the answer is yes, you go to the chart number defective, that is number NP chart, or you can go to the P chart, that is percent defective chart. And if the answer is no, that constant number of measurement in each subgroup has not taken, then you have to go to the percent defective chart, that is the P chart. If we go to the defects, there will be a constant number of measure. Will there be a constant number of measurement in each subgroup? Again the question comes, whether the constant number of measurement in each subgroup has done or not. If the answer is yes, then you can use either the defect per subgroup chart, that is C chart, or defects per unit, that is Z chart, you can use. But if the answer is no, then you have to go to the defects per subgroup, that is the C chart. More discussion about these control charts, decision trees, control charts. From the based on this decision tree, we can go, or we can take a decision which chart to use. Now detailed description of this chart we'll discuss in the next classes. So if all the student, probably I think it is visible, or you can see it's quite well, and if you have got any doubt or you are under any difficulty in understanding, you can contact me or you can email me without any hesitations. So all students, please be safe, stay protected and stay at your home. Thank you.